Give me 1 second as I share the show. This is Carl Kalanch with Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans. Thank you for joining us here on Wednesday. We are back on the Wednesday show on the Wednesday platform. Took some time off, but I'm ready to get back into it. Every Wednesday at 4 o'clock, you can catch me here. I'm right now streaming out of Iona College. I had class, so I figured to take the show on the road. I don't have to do it from my home, and let's just do it on the road. So I'm about to share the show right now. We're about to begin in a couple moments. So thank you for anyone who's dialing in right now, who's joining us live. 1 sec. Moments. Again, thank you for everyone joining us. Carl Kalanch here for the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans. I definitely appreciate the support of the Sports Hit List brand. Let me turn this off. First and foremost, let me throw a shout out to the Sports Hit List team. Special shout out to Smoke and Mirrors, which you find on Mondays and Fridays. I believe 7 p.m. on Mondays, 4 p.m. on Fridays. They did a time switch. Also, shout out to the Fan Zone. They had 700 views yesterday. That's their highest rated show. Great job on Manny and Mike. They pitched the idea. They're doing a great job to produce the show and come up with their own content. So I'm really proud of them and what they're doing on Tuesdays. If you want that real fan perspective, what the whole brand is about and embracing fans talking about sports, check out Manny and Mike. They're definitely coming up with some great segments. Yesterday's was pretty interesting about cocky players. I had to throw my guy Paul Pierce in there. So great job overall by those guys. And I definitely appreciate them for what they're doing with their show. Thank you for everyone who's tuning into the show right now. And we're going to talk some football. A couple minutes, we're going to do a football recap of the week. I'm going to give you an update on the Sports Hit List standings as is. We're also going to dive into, what's that meaning behind week 2 and how fans' reaction and what their reactions are to specific sports. Before the show actually began, I just want to touch upon I wanted to bring in my guy Ray while I discuss this real quick, which is a non-related sports issue, but it's very imperative that we talk about it because it's something that's really going on right now that's really hurting. And people need to know and people need to understand different things that are going on and what happened. Ray, can you hear me, sir? Ray, can you hear me? I don't know if your audio connected. You can't hear me? You're going to come back in. Okay. Ray's going to come back in. But as I was saying before, thank you to all the fans for tuning in as you file into and get back into that regular scheduled programming of having our Wednesdays. Everyone needs some time off. It was the end of a season. I figured I'd bring back the show for a new entire season. So here we are again for the Sports Hit List. As I said before, we're going to preview week 2. I know people had, we're going to recap week 2. I know a lot of people had, picks. Clearly, the Chiefs losing, people don't think it was nothing. It might be something, even though it's week 2. Football, I didn't know about football. No, Eddie, stick around, brother. You got to stick around for the football talk, for sure, man. We appreciate Eddie, too. Definitely appreciate the Sports Hit List and definitely appreciate Eddie. Let me see if right now I can connect with us. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can't hear you, sir.
Can't hear me?
No, hold on 1 second. Let me see. Go ahead, talk.
Can you hear me now?
No, I can't hear you.
All right, I'm gonna log off and do it again.
You're gonna come back in again?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely can't hear you. No. All
right, I'm gonna log off and do it again.
You're gonna come back in again?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely can't hear you. No. I don't know if it's my microphone or something that's going on why I can't hear him, but I guess apparently you can hear him on the feed, but I couldn't hear him. I don't know if it's my microphone. Trying to get, just bear with us for a couple of seconds. I'm trying to get my crew in here. Travis, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
For some reason, I can't hear you guys. I don't know why.
I can hear you.
How's it going, sir?
I'm good. How about
I'm
you?
going to have
You
to
hear
just
me?
keep you low on my microphone because I'm trying to figure out why I can't hear you guys, but I don't know why. My sound doesn't seem to be working.
Technical difficulties.
Ray, can you hear me?
Buffalo Bills are at home in week 3, hosting the team.
Yeah, for some reason, my sound doesn't seem to be working. I can hear you off my phone, but I can't hear you off of this. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on here.
Okay.
Let's see.
But I can hear you fine.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you guys now. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I'm coming out of the Iona College studio, so I'm trying to work out the kinks, taking the show on the road for a little bit. Thank you guys for pulling up. We're going to get into week 2, but before the show started, I wanted to talk about, I know the Sports List has been a brand where we're aware and socially aware of things that are going on in the world. And there's no way I have a platform where I can't talk about what's going down in Texas and what we've seen with my eyes and the whipping of Blacks, aside just being human, and how certain things like that could happen in this country. And I know I may lose some viewers from it. I don't care, because this is why I have a platform to talk about. Not everything revolves around sports. But for those who don't know, we have migrants who are seeking asylum, Haitian migrants. I'm Haitian American. My parents are from Haiti, and it really breaks my heart to see the pictures and the video of people and what they're suffering down there in Texas. And I had an opportunity today to listen to an entire hour of Haitian Americans who are here, who are doing their best, who are asking for help from the government, who are asking help from the president, to really take a look at what's going down there and really pay attention to it. Again, I understand this is a sports platform, but I've never been shy from allowing my hosts and people to talk about non-related sports issues, especially of this magnitude. And we've done this before. And I just want people to understand what's going on and get the word out that it's really sickening. It's really sickening to sit here and watch it. And if there's anything you can do to help, if there's anything you can do to donate to the people who are in need down there in Haiti, down there in Texas, please do your best. And I know, Raynell, you had some posts earlier on your socials about it. And again, it's just heartbreaking to see that.
Yeah, man. Like you said, we Haitian American. My people is just from Haiti. They came here, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I didn't believe it at first. When I seen the pictures, I was like, nah, this can't be happening. Like horses and whips and stuff. And then, did some more research, and it's like, it's crazy. It's awful. It's just a lot of things right now. I just don't understand, it seems like the government picks and chooses who can come and who can't, like they're out here doing the whole Afghan refugees. They're flying them in. And I think you got probably 86 Haitians just trying, for the same thing, trying to have a better life, just trying to get away from whatever they're trying to get away from in Haiti. And this is the treatment that they're receiving. And that's completely wrong. And it's just like, it seems like Haitians and Haiti just can't catch a break nowadays. Right?
Travis, any thoughts?
Man, it's wild and disheartening to see. It's like, I don't understand why where's the humanity in people? Like, it's things like that just baffle my mind. It's like, these people are just trying to get out of a situation that, is not ideal. We all know all the things that have gone on in Haiti in the past few months or so. But it's like, it's just unnecessary. Like, I don't understand. What do people out there who are out there committing these acts, what do you get off on this? Like, what are you gaining from this? It doesn't make sense to me. I just don't understand why people have such a hard time just being compassionate and just being understanding of what other people are going through. And it drives me crazy. Like, it's sickening to see things like that.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that we have to sit here and take time out of our sports talk. But as I said before in my opening, there's no way that I have a platform and I can't sit here and discuss it. So I hope people are seeing what's going on out there, and that we're praying for the people and anything that you could do to help. And part of, for me, it's just feeling helpless. So anything that you could do to help, every little bit helps. And thank you to all those who are watching right now. It really is disgusting. I'm not going to spend too much more time of it, but I had to open the show to talk about it. My prayers are with the people of Haiti or with the Haitians. Can be family to Juavel. So guys, week 2, the Pick'em's predictions. I have some updated standings for those out there, so they can basically understand who's in the lead. It's a 3-way tie right now between Rick, Paul, and Travis at 22 apiece. Chuck has 16, Declan has 17, Ray has 17, Peter has 17, Greg has 17, and Manny has 20. So those are our predictions. But guys, I asked this question this week. I noticed that people love to use the narrative, it's only week 2, right? And I said that, but it seems to only apply where it sees fit. Why can't it apply for everyone? And I've noticed there's been a lot of hate on different teams and different reasons. And I guess that's just the fandom. But you want to apply that it's only week 2. Should we not apply that to every single team? Trav?
No.
Why not?
Because we know certain teams don't have a shot. Okay, we know the Jaguars, they are not going to be a good team this season. Okay, we know.
But given the fact that we have a rookie quarterback, and this is where I understand, right? Travis always says there's no room for error in football. It's what can you do for me now? There's always a quick pace with that. I understand that. But we're looking at 2 rookies, right? Lawrence and Wilson in their second weeks. And the amount of criticism, you guys are telling me it's fair for them to receive criticism after 2 weeks. It's one thing if you have a quarterback after a couple of years, but they're in their second week, learning a new system, playing with the big lights, playing on a bigger stage. Could we not give them an opportunity before we start throwing flack, right?
I mean, of course you do, because first of all, you got to look at the teams that they're with. I mean, no one expected them to do anything with the Jaguars and the Jets. But you also got to look at the people that are saying things. Most of the people are just in there for the jokes. Like when Wilson threw 4 interceptions, everybody was just McClowning because, it's the Jets and they never get a quarterback right. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with the Jags at the moment. But then you do have some of those people who already had their ideas like, oh, Fields was better than both of them, coming out of college and this and that. So, of course, they're going to be a little bit more critical about them too. But for the most part, it is just week 2. They're rookies. And they're playing for the Jags and the Jets, let's be serious. What I'm saying?
All right. So Travis, is that fair? Is there a lot of criticism? I understand that's 2 rookies or just players in general. It's only the second week. So could we not start really evaluating? I understand the whole troll job we're going to do because that's what fans do. They talk shit. I understand all that. But could there be a point where we're sit back and reflect and say, you know what? Let's give them the opportunity to see what they can really do by week 4, week 5. Then we can start talking ish or no?
I mean, the Jags, all right, so if we're going to use the Jags and the Jets, for example, they're 2 totally different situations. Trevor Lawrence is the number 1 overall pick. He has had a lot of hype around him since, for a few years now. But like Ray said, it's Jacksonville. So there are no real expectations. But the fact that you're the number 1 overall pick and you came in with all this hype, there's going to be a little bit of scrutiny on you right there. And then plus you got Urban Meyer as your head coach. So there's going to be a little scrutiny. With the Jets, on the other hand, yes, Wilson was the number 2 overall pick, but it's New York. We all know it's the media market of the world. The Jets, the Giants, New York teams are always going to be under a microscope. Whether they're good or bad, it comes with the territory. It's part of the reason you get drafted here. You got to know if you can handle that. But yes, there is somewhat of a point where you can't really, certain teams you can't really evaluate. You got to give them around, like you said, to week 3, week 4. But we know those are teams who actually have a shot because we know it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You want to round in the form as the season goes along. You don't want to start off hot and then finish on the low. But with certain teams, when there is no hope, there's not going to be a good season here. I mean, we see what it is. We know what they are. You hope they finish with some improvement, but we know what they are. You know what I mean? And the Jets not the Jets. Yeah, the Jets and the Jags are 2 of those teams. We know what they're going to be. They are a rebuilding organizations. So yes, they are what they are pretty much at this point.
I think the highlight of week 2 is definitely Coach Harbaugh soundbite on the sideline asking Lamar Jackson, do you want to go for it? And yelling at him, and he went for it. I know that was a pretty surprising because everyone in our group had the Chiefs. But again, here's a primary example of what I'm talking about. It's only week 2. The way the Chiefs lose that game and being favorites, one would say that it's nothing. But for the Ravens, that's something though, right? Right, Ray?
Yeah, it's nothing for the Chiefs because they're proven. Like everybody knows who the Chiefs are for the last couple of years. Mahomes been the starter. But I will say it definitely takes away a narrative for Lamar Jackson to where when he's down 2 touchdowns, can he win the game? Can they still come back? Because we all know a lot of times Baltimore's offense, they're always winning. And when they do get down, they usually lose. And to be honest, I'm not even gonna front. When it was 35, when I seen Kelsey running in for the touchdown, I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to sleep because it's 10 o'clock and I gotta be at 5. You know what I'm saying? So I wake up the next morning, I check my phone, my phone blowed up. I seen everybody texting. I'm like, man, what's going on? The Ravens pulled it off, you know what I'm saying? So that was definitely a shock for me because for the most part, anytime the Ravens get down, they don't win. And I think that's just huge for their confidence going into the season.
So, Travis, where do you apply that? So that it's only week 2 narrative applied to the Chiefs losing, but that shouldn't apply with the Ravens after that win, right?
Again, the Ravens are what we consider a contender. They're one of the teams we are hoping that gets better as the season goes along. And when you have come up against a team, what is Lamar? What did they say Lamar Jackson was? He was what 0-4 at that point.
0-3.
0-3 at that point against Patrick Mahomes. That's a big win right there. Because like Ray said, I thought the game was over when he threw the pick. I thought it was over at that point. I put it in the group chat. I said, "Oh, good night. This is over with."
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, we played 4 quarters for a reason. So the fact that they were able to come back to continue to fight in that game, even though they weren't at 100%. As far as the offensive line, and we all know the other injuries that they've had throughout the season, it is a very impressive win. Because like even Lamar Jackson said last year, didn't he call this team his kryptonite? Well, Sometimes when you beat the bully, you know what I mean, that gives you a sense of confidence. You walk around with a different pep in your step. You know what I mean? Sometimes that can be the momentum you need to catapult yourself through the rest of the season. Like, hey, we knocked off the giant. All right, we are capable of doing this. And sometimes you do need that.
Anything else that probably stood out to you? I know Rick's Dolphins, tough break for them losing Tua. We don't know how long he's going to be out for. I saw Cam's name surface a little bit in people trying to talk and see if that could be a solution for him. Manny's going, let's go Raiders in the chat. He's going crazy. His team is 2-0. I guess we didn't expect them to be.
I mean, they could eat
2-0, right? We didn't expect them to be at that point.
They all right, go
ahead. Ray, your Cowboys winning off a field goal kick. So I know that was pretty. You didn't even pick them yourself, but anything else stand out aside from the Chiefs and the Raiders? Anything else stand out, Travis, from week 2?
I mean, well, all right. Shout out to Manny, but I mean the Raiders could easily be 0-2, but we're not gonna go. We're not gonna go there. Right. All right. We'll go. We'll give them the fact that they got their 2-0. All right. Shout out to them. Defensively, they do look good. I mean, even to get that win without Josh Jacobs Sunday, that's a big one against the Steelers right there. I mean, shout out to the Broncos. The whole AFC West is kind of looking good out there. I mean, you got the Broncos who are 2-0 right now. I think we've realized that the Broncos went with Teddy Bridgewater because, like I said, I believe I said it Sunday, he's the safe pick. He's the guy that's not going to turn the ball over. He's going to play ball control. You know what I mean? But he's actually out there pushing the ball down the field a little bit. So shout out to the Broncos right there. They do look good. They did lose Bradley Chubb for a couple weeks. I mean, the hope of them having Von Miller and Bradley Chubb together just doesn't seem to be working out for them. Hopefully, it's like they've been trying to get them 2 on the field together for so long, and it's just one don't want to be there. It's crazy. Shout out to my Panthers. I mean, we 2-0 out here. got a big W this weekend against the Saints.
And you know what? I think that's an issue too. The fact that people are seeing Darnold go 2-0 and the Jets are 0-2 is kind of not helping Wilson's situation.
Like Jamal Williams said, I'm pretty sure y'all all seen the clip. Another man's trash is one man's trash is another man's treasure. Come on now. Y'all didn't know what to do with him up there at the Jets. Y'all didn't get him no weapons. He came down to Carolina, but again, got some weapons around him. He's ready to play.
But listen, again, I could apply that narrative. Like I said, it's only week 2 for your Panthers, buddy. It's only week 2. So
you're right, but it's a good start. I'll take it. It is a good start. All right. We coming up Thursday night. I'm a little skeptical of that game. I don't like Thursday night games on the road, but it is the Texans, so we'll see what happens there. Who else? Cardinals 2-0. That's they've got 2 impressive wins. The Bucks. I mean, Tom Brady out here looking like I seen a crazy stat. I think they said Tom Brady only needs 13 more touchdowns to have more TDs in his 40s than he did in his 20s, which is ridiculous. He's going to get that this season. Yeah. That's insanity. The fact that he's still out here playing.
Yeah, but you know what it is with Tom Brady? Like when you look at athletes, he takes care of his body. It's all about taking care of your body and how much preparation you put into taking care of yourself. So I think that goes to his testament for him is that he's always taking care of himself. So the more he takes care of himself, the more longevity he can have. Ray, what were your thoughts after week 2? I know you were surprised that your Cowboys won. Anything else stand out to you for that week?
Yeah, be honest with you, man. I was real surprised that they won. Granted the Chargers, gave them a couple chances, got them off the hook a couple times. They had a lot of penalties, but you know what? It is what it is. A lot of times, that's my Cowboys doing that, committing the bonehead plays and everything like that, and preventing themselves not to win the game. But they played a real good game. I like what they did with Michael Parsons playing them DN. Quinn so far has done he's done an okay job. No, I'm not out here exaggerating like we're the best defense in the world, but it's definitely an improvement. Run game was very solid. Dak played well. The only thing you should have heard me that last minute, man. I was screaming at my TV. I don't know what Mike McCarthy was doing. Like just because you're in field goal range, that does not mean that you just stop playing offense. Like a 56-yard field goal is not guaranteed. I don't care who you are, especially with the way the kicker was kicking last week. But they pulled the W out. They still need some improvement, but hey, man, it's 17 weeks, man. You're gonna take a dub, how you can get it, And also, I was surprised on how Seattle blew the lead that they had with the Titans.
I watched the end of that game into overtime. That was a shout out to Paul. He definitely picked the Titans last minute.
That was
one who got that win. Yeah, that was a surprising one too.
Surprising. They just pretty much let Henry just do whatever he wanted. Like the fourth and it was just ridiculous. Like I think it was 24-9 at halftime or something like that, and they just couldn't score.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and they scored 6 points the rest of the way. I mean, Russell Wilson, you wanted all this control in the offense, this and that, and you basically blew a game in a division that you need all them games that you can because that's a tough division. You know what I'm saying? So that was just another surprise to me.
So for the Seahawks, it's only week 2.
No, for them, for them, it's an issue because like Ray said, they are in a strong division. And looking at the division now, everybody else is 2-0 in their division.
Everybody 2-0.
All 4 teams could easily make the playoffs in that division. So to sit here and give up a game like that, man, that's a rough one. I mean, granted, it's an out-of-conference game. It's against an AFC team. But still, every game is going to count in that division right there, man. So to sit there and lose that one at home in front of your home, in front of the 12th man for the first time in like 2 years, that's a rough one. That's a rough one to lose right there.
All right, so you kind of gave us a preview, Travis, before I let you guys go. Travis, you gave me a preview to your the Panthers versus the Texans tomorrow. Could you guys go 3-0? What are the chances? Like, objectively speaking, do your best you can to be objective as possible.
I'm always objective, Carl. I am offended by that, okay? You have 2 of the most objective people on here, okay? I would admit that about Ray. I can't stand the Cowboys, but he is for sure one of the only 2 objective Cowboy fans I know. Him and my grandmother. So shout out to you 2. But Tyrod Taylor, he's out tomorrow. I mean, they put him on IR for a couple weeks. I am always weary about Thursday night games and the road team because they got to do the travel on a short turnaround. And then the Texans, like I said, people have been talking about the Texans. I don't think they're as bad as people think they are. But the fact that you're not going to have Tyrod Taylor, our defense, Carolina's defense is balling right now. I think we get this W, man. I think we're going to go 3-0.
So you're picking, so right now on record, because I'm going to ask in the group chat probably tomorrow, and everyone's going to wait till last minute to give me my answer, but you're going Panthers right now on record.
Yeah, we're going to go Panthers. We're going to go Panthers. We're going to go Panthers.
All right. Ray?
Unless an injury happens between now and tomorrow, then I might change my mind, Carl.
Well, we know you change your mind a lot. I already know that for a fact. I'm anticipating that too.
They're starting. The Texans have been playing better than I thought they would. To be honest, I thought they were just going to be completely garbage and like it's not good. But they've been playing. They've been battling. But losing Tyrod for this game, man. I mean, this guy. For some reason, man, this guy just can't catch a break, man. It's just
right. What kind of bad karma in a past life does he have, man? It is just. I don't know, man. He can't get no love out here, man.
No love. Everywhere he goes, he's the starter. He's playing well, and then some crazy thing happens, and he's no longer the starter. Hopefully, I don't know who's playing, but I don't think he shouldn't take his job. But we never know.
The Stanford quarterback, is it Davis Mills? I know his last name is Mills. I can't remember what his first name is, but the rookie quarterback out of Stanford, I think it's Davis Mills. I think.
And there's no word on Watson on his trade. That like those talks are dead, right? He's just.
I don't see Watson getting traded until all that stuff gets resolved and people.
He's not getting paid, right?
Yes, he is.
You see, because I say that because I know Ben Simmons in the NBA decided, which I'm going to get into next topic, is that he decided he wants to sit out and he doesn't want to play, and chances are he's not going to get paid. And I'm like, where do these players get? I wish I could sit at my job and tell them, listen, pay me. I'm not going to work because I don't want to. Pay me. I understand it's sports culture and I can't compare it, but where in life do you get to sit out at your job, tell your boss, I don't want to play, I'm not playing, and it's acceptable and it's okay. So Watson's been doing it, and no one's talking. Like it's like at this point in the age, like what are we doing here?
This is Watson's a unique situation though, because he doesn't want to play for them, and then at the same time he has all this stuff going on in the background. So the NFL, like to sit him, the decision to sit him has been a Texans decision. The NFL hasn't stepped in yet. Because the NFL, they have what's called the commissioner exempt list, where they could put him on that list. He gets paid, and he doesn't have to play, just to keep him out of the situation until his situation resolved. The NFL hasn't stepped in yet and done any of that. So the decision to actually sit him is a Texans decision, which we all know why, because he doesn't want to play there, and therefore they don't want him to get injured and damage his trade value. So it's kind of on both sides here. It's not just him saying, I don't want to play and I can still get paid. The Texans are actually the ones making the decision here of saying, nah, Deshaun, you go sit at home for a little bit. I don't think he's getting his full salary. I think he's getting only $10 million, I think.
Right.
So, but that's better than nothing.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know why the NFL just don't put him on the exempt list. I don't know what's the hold up.
They don't have to. The Texans made the decision for them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like you said, they're not going to play him to get hurt. That's going to ruin his value. So that's just a different situation compared to the Ben Simmons one, in my opinion. But it's just a different world, Carl. Like we don't know that world. You know what I'm saying? Like no, you said, we can't really. I mean, we could comment on it, but we don't know it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like someone trying to comment on one of our jobs. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what we can and can't do. You know what I'm saying?
I hear that. So who you going with, Ray? You got the Panthers too, or you going to Titan?
I'm going Panthers. They've been playing very well. The defense has been playing very well, and I see a 3-0. And I need C-Mac to give me some points, man. I just picked them up. Got that trade.
That's all you know. What? That's all you care about.
We gonna talk. Yeah, Ray swindled out a trade over there against Greg. Greg, and he had the nerve to talk about my trade, and he really gave up that trade. But go ahead, Greg. You do that, all right?
You know what, Ray? You seem to care more about your fantasy team than the Cowboys. Is that true?
Because I can control my fantasy team, and I get a prize winning if I win it. I don't get nothing out of these Cowboys.
You get some bragging rights as a fan. We all get something when our teams win. The bragging rights.
But I'm also like, I just hope that my expectation is just to win the division and make the playoffs. I don't see them winning anything else besides that. You know what I'm saying? So my fantasy will come first because I get money off of that I can use for other things. You know what I'm saying? That's just, I think practical like that. It's just me.
We got Rick in the comments. He said, I need to hear these details on the CMC trade. And he put the
yeah. Now put that in the atmosphere. Go ahead, Ray. Go ahead, Ray. Tell me your trade.
Real quick, Ray, because we got the NBA team waiting on. Go ahead.
All right, Greg.
They can wait. It ain't NBA season. They can wait.
We gotta talk about Ben Simmons. Go ahead, Ray.
The trade was I traded Greg, Cup, Evans, and Saquon Barkley for DK and C-Mac. It's a good trade. 2 for 3. It's a good trade. I got no issue with it. I'm just saying.
Is this
it's a good trade. It's a good It's a good trade in your favor. I'll tell you that. It's a good trade in your favor.
I mean, it could work for both ways. Evans is the wild card. He's the wild card because he's not gonna. He's the wild card because they got so many.
I would say Barkley's the wild card because if Barkley doesn't perform, he's screwed at the running back position.
I think Barkley's gonna come through once they just gotta unleash him, and I think he's good. He looks good. They just gotta give him carries now. To be honest, I don't know why they protecting him.
So Ray, so Ray, you offered the trade, right?
No, Greg offered the trade.
You said Greg offered the trade, Rick.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we have our picks for tomorrow's Thursday night game. I'll see you on Sunday, Travis. Ray, I don't think I'll see you this Sunday, but I'm going to put out in the chat who's going to.
Nah, I won't be there. I'll be at the game. I'm going to be at the Cardinals. The Cardinals game.
Okay, so listen, if you want to tap in on your phone to give us a view of Lawrence, I'll take it. You know, if you want to.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, no problem.
Ray gonna be in the pool at Jaguar Stadium.
You guys take care. I'll talk to you soon. You're watching the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans. With a transition into some Ben Simmons talk. Thank you to the NFL team. They do a great job of keeping us up to speed on what's going on.
Who on the NBA team? Let me. Oh, never mind.
You can see him. Mac is in the building. We got Andres and we got Ziggy Zig. Mac is here. Mac, can you hear me, sir?
Do I have to change my camera?
Yeah, you do, sir. You do.
So you good there?
Coach, you wasn't
screen lock.
Oh, okay. You good? You good now?
Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
Coach,
cool.
you wasn't gonna come back to the pick'ems and let me, get a rematch, Coach. What's up?
Listen, I'm ready. You know what? It's the executive producers, man. They don't let me know. I don't want to be on every session, so I gotta wait for the executive producers, the P. Diddy's, to let me know when to come on, man.
I'm on dancing everybody video.
Yo, Carl,
you know
right. But nah, Carl, I need him to be back. I need my rematch.
You know what's crazy? I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you would have, if we gotta start from this week, right? Because these last 2 weeks has been a struggle for me, so I ain't gonna even hold you.
And I'm tired in the lead right now. I need Carl.
Bro, you would have been up bad. You would have been up crazy on me right now.
I apologize. I didn't know Max still wanted to participate. My bad. I thought it was when you were.
I'm the reigning champion. You got to give me a chance to defend my title.
All right. So maybe this weekend we'll get Womack back in the pick'ems.
Just give my picks. I don't need to be on a set. I could just give my picks to you.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. Travis, I'll see you on Sunday.
All right.
Gentlemen, I know it's been a long off season. I hope you guys have been well. I missed my NBA team. Training camp starts next week. We got Mr. Numbers in the building, Ziggs in the classroom over there, and Mr. Mac walking downtown Brooklyn. It looks like it's Brooklyn, right?
Brooklyn Heights, baby. You know it.
I know the vibe. So Ben Simmons has been trending, and apparently he's not reporting to training camp. So, Mac, I asked the football panel this question. Let me ask you as a professional. How can Ben Simmons just decide, you know what, I'm not playing until they trade me? Can you even do that? How does that even work? And is he a crybaby for even doing that, Coach?
I'm gonna tell you right now, Ben Simmons can do whatever Ben Simmons wants to do. If he don't want to go to training camp, he don't got to go to training camp. But let me tell you something else. The Philadelphia 76ers can do what they want to do also. True. See, that's the problem. People don't want to people don't want to lay the smackdown in your wrestling terms on some of these athletes because one, we're seeing it happen right before our eyes. You're going to lose value for some of these players. You're not going to be able to get the value back for what these players are. So once you open up Pandora's box and say you want to trade a certain particular player, and now they start to get bad, you lose the value. That's number one. Number two, what if the general manager of the Sixers just said, or the owner, you know what, we're going to cut Ben Simmons. Who does that hurt, him or Ben Simmons?
Yeah.
Ben Simmons can go sign with another team. So that's why it's like a game. It's like a game of it's like a game of cat and mouse. Like who's gonna flinch first? It points out to, because if my job, if I said I'm not showing up to work every day, there'll be two decisions made. Will St. Francis and my employee deal with it and say, okay, you don't have to show up to work, or would they say you're fired? One or the other can happen. You get what I'm saying? And it's up to the employee to make the decision, because at the end of the day, me being a human being, I don't have to go to work. Yes, it's in my contract to go to work, but if I choose I don't want to, I don't have to. It's up to me. But you also choose to whether you're going to accept it and whether you're going to pay me or not. So I mean,
so in your eyes, it's fair. It's fair with Ben Simmons.
It is fair, yeah, because if the Sixers wanted to cut him tomorrow, even if he would have never said, I'm not showing up to training camp, if he wasn't good enough, the Sixers could just say, you know what, we'll give you a buyout, but we don't want you to report anymore. You're detrimental to the team. We've seen that happen in other sports before, where the team just says, do not show up. Look what's happening to, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but look what's happening to the quarterback with the Houston Texans right now.
Yeah, Watson.
We don't want you. You are not, you're detrimental to the team. We don't want you here. What if Watson said, but my contract says that I have 4 or 5 years to play with you guys? So what? The team decided we don't want you anymore. That's what they decide. So, I mean, it's fair game. They can do it. We can do it. Now, what happens after that, according to the contract, is up to the law. But you got to be willing to take whatever comes out of it. So let's see what the Sixers do. The guy said, I'm not showing up. Either you trade me or you don't. It's up to you.
All right, Ziggs, what are your thoughts here with Ben Simmons? Does he even have trade value? Are you agreeing with him taking the stance not to play? What are your overall thoughts with Ben?
Before I even start with that, let me just say I'm not gonna have my man Mac walking these streets and his collar not fixed. So Mac, just fix
I wanted to say
collar
that.
for me, man. So
There you go.
Clean, brother. Right.
Now, hold on, Carl. You a snake. I wanted to say that, Carl.
But I didn't wait. Listen, you were flowing. You were, bro. In all respect, you were flowing. In all respect, you were flowing.
Like that. You
You were flowing, bro. Yo, you were cooking. I wasn't gonna. Yo, you were cooking, bro. You were cooking.
There's the hitless streets, and then there's the real streets. I don't want to. What's going on, man? Tell me my colors.
I apologize. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Zick, thank you for that, brother. Thank you. I missed you.
No doubt. I wasn't gonna cut Mac off neither, but I got
right.
With all of that being said, I definitely agree with Womack. Ben Simmons has every right to request a trade. You look at it like this. I don't know exactly his playoff success off my head. Forgive me. It's been a really long day. These sixth graders getting to me, man. But he definitely has trade value, and I'm looking at it as if, okay, I'm in his shoes, right? As soon as, I had a bad playoff series, right? I had a bad playoff series versus Atlanta. Towards the end of the season, he was kind of like trickling down a little bit in terms of stats and production. Cool. All right. But when my center talks bad about me to the press, when my coach talks bad to me about the press, when the fans are going haywire and saying all types of negative things about me, I don't want to be in your city no more. Why do I have to stay there? I want out. I don't have to be there anymore. I want out. I don't think he's a baby, right? If that's the case, LeBron is a baby. Who else is a baby? Anybody that requested a trade is a baby. He doesn't have to go back to that franchise. They definitely, for lack of a better term, shitted on him. And he definitely has that trade value. We're hearing this talk about him going to Minnesota. If that's where he want to go, let's make that move. With that being said as well, with an agent like Rich Paul, I don't see Ben Simmons coming back to the Philadelphia 76ers. In fact, I think Rich Paul has another client in Tyrese Maxey. So if you wherever Ben Simmons go, you might see Tyrese Maxey along in that trade as well. I'm 100% advocating for Ben Simmons to get what he wants, because it's just not right what's happening to him in Philadelphia.
Let me ask you this one more question before I get to Mr. Numbers. Now, we're all men of capitalism, and we all care about our pockets and our money. Yeah. Are you willing to sacrifice your paychecks to sit down until you get traded? That's what you're saying?
I'm willing to sit down, yeah, because I still have my endorsement money coming in, so I can do that.
Okay, all right, Mr. Numbers, what are your thoughts here? Overall with Ben Simmons, are you in favor of what he's doing, or what is he doing is foul and messed up?
Well, number one, Carl, happy birthday. That's first things first. I don't know if anyone gave you a birthday shout out, but here I am.
Listen,
number
it's a week late, but we still in Virgo season. I'll take it. Whatever, baby.
Number two, I'm glad Ziggy joined on the blind gang and you got some glasses. We're all blind now. Love to you. Shout out to Zig.
Absolutely.
All of us on the panel now are blind. And then number three, getting back to the topic. Listen, man, I don't got a problem with what Ben Simmons is doing, because number one, he's getting paid $177 million. And number two, he gets to go home to Maya Jama every night. So it's just like, there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. You know what I mean? But on a more basketball, no, I'm being dead ass though. If you were getting paid $177 million, like who cares what other people have to think? Another thing is that I wanted to mention is that why are we trying to let the billionaire owners win? Like, I'm not saying that like the owner of the 76ers is like racist or whatever you want to call it, but like we can't keep putting more money in these men's pocket and letting them win. Like, if I'm an African-American male in the NBA and I know my value and I know what I bring to the table, why am I going to let the owner come out here and tell me what I am and what I'm not? Like, a lot of people talk about Ben Simmons like he's a scrub. And like, do you know how many players in the NBA can guard 1 through 5 and be productive as far as like rebounding and assisting on the other end? Like, it's a lot of things that are talked about Ben Simmons that aren't true, right? So now everyone is cutting his ass. Everyone is making fun of him, right? Do we know his mental health is okay? Do we know that what Joel Embiid makes him feel good? But what about Doc Rivers? Excuse me. Carl and I have been preaching for the last, 3 years about Doc Rivers being Teflon in the NBA.
7 years.
Why?
So don't get me started on that,
bro. I've known you,
boy.
You're gonna cut me off like that?
I'm sorry. You said listen. It's a sensitive topic. You touched the nerve with Doc Rivers, boy. Listen.
Doc Rivers has been Teflon. Like, he's looked at like the Lord and Savior for the last 10 years in the NBA, and he should be kissing Tom Thibodeau's feet for that 2008 championship that he won. So I'm sick and tired of Doc Rivers being Teflon. I'm sick and tired of like the owners thinking they can do whatever they want with Ben Simmons, and like his mental health doesn't matter. Because like, let's say Ben Simmons tomorrow, God forbid, but like he retires something, and it's because like his mental health is beating his ass. Like, I don't think people realize that these NBA players are human beings. They're not robots. You know what I mean? And like I said, $177 million in Maya Jama every night, you could do I could do whatever the F I want.
All right. So, Coach, let me ask you this basketball question. Given Ben Simmons' deficiencies or what he gets criticized for, where does he fit now in the NBA and in the league? What team? Like, where's his trade value? Like, where does he fit? I thought possibly the Warriors, because he doesn't need to necessarily shoot.
I love the Warriors. You want to give up Draymond Green? What you want to do? You got to give
Draymond for him.
They won't though.
Why not?
They won't. But I mean, this is where the Sixers messed up at. When you badmouth him or let it come out, or you said you would trade him, his value went down. Before you did that, who knows what teams would have gave up? You get what I'm saying? And that's where I think they went wrong. But I think he fits the Warriors. I like that because they got so much shooting. You trade him in a heartbeat for Wiggins and draft picks. You know what I mean? Like easily. But you got to add a little bit more if you're Philly. You got to want back a little bit more. So the Warriors he fits with. Another team that people may think is super weird, but I don't know. He fits in Atlanta. I kind of like him in Atlanta. They got enough shooting. I think they got enough shooting with some of their pieces around them. You got a playmaker in Trey Young who shoots the heck out the basketball. Collins is not a great shooter. I mean, I know he shot a couple threes this season, but would you take Ben Simmons' playmaking ability and defensive ability over having John Collins, who's a subpar 30% shooter from three, who doesn't even make a lot of threes? I would. So I'll put a package together if I was Atlanta trying to take that next jump to the next level. Some people keep saying Houston for John Wall because that may be the only thing that makes money-wise, but he doesn't fit in Houston to me. You don't want a disgruntled, even though he's a vet. Let's call it what it is. He's a vet. You don't want a vet going to a rebuilding. He's a vet. Exactly, Andres. He's not really a vet, but he's a vet. He's not going to a rebuilding process and saying, hey, and he's not a leader yet. He's not a leader. So you're not taking him into a rebuilding process and saying he's gonna help the young players around your team. Anything, he might poison them because he's been poisoned by the way he's been treated in the NBA. So he's not really, he needs to go to a team where he can be led by some other guys and really just fit in, get a role and get a new start. So I like Atlanta. I like the Warriors. I'm trying to think of some other groups, but I really don't see them. The Timberwolves, maybe, but who are you giving up?
That's what
who are you giving up?
That's
who are you giving up?
You're giving up D'Lo easily.
Is that enough?
D'Lo's not that guy, man. We gotta let D'Lo trick y'all, bro. He's not that guy.
No,
Come on,
I'll
he's a,
take
No,
I'll
it's
take
not
D'Lo.
enough.
no,
It's
no,
not
yeah,
enough,
it's not.
though.
It's a start. Though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you gotta add some more pieces to that. But
Malik Beasley probably. I mean, I would give up Pat Bev in that scenario, but obviously they're not
You
going to
got
trade
some
him
trolls
again.
in here saying trade him to China, Mac. That's what Ray
oh,
Now
they
is saying.
bugging.
Wow,
They
that's wild.
bugging.
Be disrespectful
They
out
bugging
here.
out, man.
Zig,
He's the same guys who's asking for raises at their particular jobs, and they not in the 1% of their job community. But they want to trade. Say this guy needs to go to China. Where would your employee say you should go
right.
if they did an employee?
It's true.
On you.
Uh,
Listen, even me, I'm not perfect. You know, that's why I don't really come at people like that because who knows what we do in our regular lives where we should be traded to. So, I give guys the benefit of the doubt. But look, listen, he has to go to a perfect spot, and I mean not a perfect spot. He has to go to a spot where they're not rebuilding. Those are going to be limited options. Some teams aren't going to want to mess up the chemistry that they already have. So we'll see what happens.
All right, Ziggs, do you agree with Coach? Do you have any other team in mind that could potentially be a fit for Ben Simmons right now?
No, I think, and not to because I definitely want to shout him out because I heard him say it first couple of months ago. It was Jarv who mentioned that Ben would fit in very, very well with the Golden State Warriors. So I could definitely see him there. The Atlanta Hawks one, that was news to me. I didn't see it now, so I guess I gotta go and check that out. But why check it out? If Max says it, if Max says it works, right? So
comes from Rome. We know we know
right.
how Rome do, right?
And outside of that, there was talks about him going to Sacramento, but I was like, I don't see him fitting in well there neither. So at this point, I think I'm gonna stick with the Golden State Warriors and the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think that would work out just well for him in either of those two cities.
All right. Someone had told Eric. Shout out to Eric in the group. He
said, I like Sacramento. Sorry to cut you off. I kind of like that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he wants to go there, but if you got,
but what are they building though? They don't have. They're not building anything.
De'Aaron Fox?
No, but if you got De'Aaron Fox, I mean, all right. So full transparency. I was actually with the Sacramento Kings for about 2 weeks training with those guys out in LA, and I'm telling you, the point guard that they draft, he's a monster, yo. He is a monster. The kid from Baylor.
Davion Mitchell, yeah.
Yeah, he is a monster. I'm telling you, they want to play him, Halliburton, and Fox together. That's how good he is. Halliburton, somebody's not playing besides, and it's not De'Aaron Fox. That kid is going to play. So if you got Bagley, if he's playing, I mean, not Bagley, excuse me. Who's the big man they got there? Not Bagley. Who's the big man?
You talking about Holmes?
Yeah, Holmes. You got Holmes. You got a Ben Simmons. You got a De'Aaron Fox. You got a Mitchell. You probably would have to give a Buddy Howe and some draft picks in order to get
you got to give a Fox in that scenario too, Coach.
Nah, you can't give up. See, that's the thing. You can't. But you don't have. You don't have to anymore.
For the salaries to match, you got to give up Fox, bro.
I'm not giving up Fox. That's the thing.
Obviously, nobody's giving up Fox.
It defeats the purpose.
Hold on, we giving up Harrison Barnes. He getting paid a lot of money. Throw Harrison Barnes in there.
Who's gonna come on, bro? Come on now.
Yo, hold on, Andreas. This is what Philly did, Andreas.
Come on.
Philly put themselves in a position to now they're gonna have to take pennies on the dollar for a trade because he doesn't want to show up. They're gonna have to take what some teams are offering. They're not getting these big pieces anymore. You messed that up when you said that he was gonna be traded.
Right. Let me ask you something. Are you trading RJ Barrett for Ben Simmons right now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I just want to be sure.
All right. Guys, we're coming up on time because
wait. How are we coming up on time and you let the NFL team take the whole time while we was all waiting in the room?
First of all, listen, I got class at 5 o'clock.
I can't be mad.
I got class at 5 o'clock, bro.
Oh, you got class.
I'm paying a whole lot of money for this. I'm paying a whole lot of money. I got class.
So we got like 8 minutes.
So let me
I'm
ask
on my way
this.
back to the office too, man. So I can't even be mad at Carl. I'm about to be right back. I took a walk to go get my glasses, man. So I got
Okay. So wait.
Are watching this right now. Like, what is he doing?
All right. So, Coach, before I let you go, we know the NBA. We will be back soon, but what are you looking forward to the most for the season? Are you looking for La La Land in LA with that whole mix? Are you looking for Brooklyn to be healthy? Are you looking for a surprise team? Your Knicks. What's exciting you about this upcoming NBA season?
I mean, everything you mentioned. I mean, I want to see the Brooklyn Nets remain healthy and see what they can do. I'm interested to see LeBron in his last ditch effort with his friend Melo to the side and Anthony Davis and see if they could get one more trip to the finals.
And Westbrook too.
And
Yeah,
Westbrook, yeah. Well, I love Westbrook. I've been a Westbrook fan for a long time. So, secretly is like I don't want those guys to win again, but I kind of want Westbrook and Melo to get this.
Yep.
I heard you got a Carmelo Anthony Lakers jersey, bro. What's that about?
I don't have a Carmelo Anthony Lakers jersey. I would never get a Carmelo Anthony Lakers jersey. But I also want to see like the Knicks. I'm curious to see if we were just a one-season fluke. I don't think so, but I'm curious to see how we play when every night no one's taking us for granted. Every night they're looking at us like, okay, this is a team that could beat us. We got to play our A game from the very beginning, the opening tip-off to the last minutes. I'm interested to see Miami. I want to see what Miami's cooking out. Are they going to be healthy? I know they got some additions. You got PJ Tucker who went down there, can hit the three, can defend. Kyle Lowry. These are high quality, high character NBA veterans that set the tone for your team. You match that up with Jimmy Butler, with Bam, with Coach Spo's mental mindset and how he fits his teams to be warriors and underappreciated night in and night out. Do they make a rise to the top? So it's a lot of different storylines. I mean, the Bucks, they're the champions that no one cares about in the history of the NBA. This is the championship.
But you're talking about them though. But you're talking about them.
No. I don't care about them.
Think about it. They are the last. When Carl asked me, I just went through 6 different scenarios until I mentioned the defending champs. And I could have probably went a little bit more if I was thinking about it. I could have said I want to see what the Timberwolves do in their second year, or I could have went and said. We gotta
get the hit out of the heart, man. The best team won. That's it. Simple.
No. Right. The best team did win, but no one's. They're the champions. That's the least talked about.
That don't matter.
So, Andres, let me ask you that question. What are you most excited about with this upcoming NBA season?
Listen, man, I am most excited to put the Heat to the side. The thing that I'm most excited about is honestly Paul George having an MVP season again, because a lot of people are throwing the Clippers under the radar, saying they're going to be a playing team, saying that they're not going to make the playoffs, saying that they're not good enough. But I don't think they're ready for what the Clippers are about to do this season. Back to what we were saying at the beginning. Me and Zig talked about this like way back when, but this man Doc Rivers went out and said that Paul George was at fault for everything. Then he said that Ty Lue wasn't going to change everything. Like Ty Lue coached the Clippers to the conference finals and had them 2 games away from the NBA finals without their best player. So for someone like Doc to say, oh, it's going to be the same thing, like you can't have that sort of like mentality on your team, So I'm just happy Ty Lue proved a lot of people wrong. Another thing that I'm really excited about is Tatum. A lot of people are saying that the Celtics are not going to do any noise. They're not going to be a top 5 seed, but if Tatum takes another step forward and goes from like being a top 12 player to like a top 10 this year, maybe the Celtics can make noise. Now he has the liberty of, no offense to Kemba Walker, obviously, because he couldn't stay on the court, but now Tatum has the free to play make, to attack the rim, to shoot threes, to defend, to do what he does best. Maybe he makes that leap into a superstar. Obviously, there's only like 6 superstars in the NBA, but Tatum is special, so we can see him. Another thing I'm excited about is Trey Young. Trey Young made a lot of people cry this past offseason being the villain role. We saw when we went to MSG last week. Shout out to Carl for that.
SmackDown. We did, yeah. That was
fun. Like, listen, man, let's get the hate out of our heart and start appreciating these players, bro. Like, it's crazy how Russ is 33, Harden is 33, Kevin Durant is like 32, LeBron's about to be 37. Like, instead of getting that hate in our heart, like, let's just appreciate this generation of players, man. I'm gonna say this. Maybe if the Lakers win the championship, maybe a lot of people accept that LeBron's the greatest player of all time with 5 championships, 11 NBA Finals, 4 MVPs. Like, do we not realize what we're witnessing day in and day out in the NBA? Like, we're blessed. Listen, I did not see Michael Jordan. I did not see Clyde Drexler. I did not see Hakeem Olajuwon. I did not see Shaq in his prime. I did not see Kobe during the first three-peat. But I think we should appreciate this like era of basketball players. Enough with the hate, enough with the pocket watching. Like if you don't want to watch the NBA, there's a power button on your TV remote. Just turn it off. You don't got to complain in the group chat every effing day, bro. Simple.
Listen, I think Andres grew up this offseason, Ziggy, because this is Andres, and I'm loving it. I agree. And you know what? I have to agree with your sentiments. I think Ziggy would be the first to tell you, Carl, from when I was 24 to Carl now, I've come to more of appreciation and a lot less hate of players because I'm watching history in front, and I think it's a beautiful thing. Zig, last comment. What are you looking forward to from this NBA season?
All right. So for me, what I'm looking forward to, honestly, of course, is going to be the Knicks. Like Max said, are we going to be, I know we were top 4, but are we going to be able to get back into that playoffs, especially with the East kind of, retooling around us? The second thing that I wanted to see not most importantly, secondly, was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, one of my favorite players. He had a pretty damn good season on a pretty bad team last year. I want to see how he progresses next year. What comes up? Is he going to be a better 3-point shooter? Is he going to be much more of a playmaker than he was last year? And something that I've been saying for the longest because of this whole COVID-19. How are these teams going to fare now that fans are back in the building? You know what I mean? Fans play a huge role in, momentum swings and things of that nature. So I want to see how teams handle that, especially the opposing teams. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I really don't care to see the Lakers and the Nets again. But if it's the Lakers and the Nets, I'm telling everybody right now that I'm rooting for the Lakers straight like that. So
wow, not for the New York team. It's like that.
I'm not rooting for the Nets. Screw them.
Well, but didn't you work there?
Well, you got to remember, too, the Lakers have two of my favorite players on their squad, and Carmelo Anthony and Russell Westbrook. So I would like to see them get rings before punk-ass KD and James Harden.
Wow. Well, listen, that's a little spicy there, man.
Hey, man, it is what it is. No, notice, I didn't say Kyrie Irving. I want Kyrie Irving to do his thing, but I don't care for KD nor James Harden.
Are you still upset that he went to Golden State? Or is that what it is?
No, that's not it at all.
Nah, man. KD's just a punk. It's just that simple. Like he said,
but listen, didn't you just say that we have to appreciate these players? Now KD's
listen. I can listen.
What are we doing here?
I can be objective about KD and still not like him as a player. I can be objective about it.
So you don't like him as a player?
I don't fuck with KD like that now.
As a human,
as a player, or as a human?
As a player.
As a player.
Why?
As a human, God.
Why not as a player?
Because he thinks he's something he's not. Like he's not even the best player on his own team. So
he's not the best player on his own team.
That's another topic for another day.
Carl. Time out. Who's the best player?
He has it.
Wait, bro. I'm gonna cut you off right there. I'm gonna leave the suspense because I like to build a nice narrative, right? KD is not the best player on this team according to Andres. We getting the NBA season started off real spicy. It's not even preseason yet. This is when KD's. Yo, I gotta go. I can't believe you just said that. You guys, thank you for watching the Sports Hit List. I'm going to flood this.
Wait, Carl.
Yeah.
Happy birthday once again.
Thank you, sir. And again, please remember what I said about Haiti. Let's keep Haiti in our prayers. Let's keep the people of Haiti down there in Texas. What's going down there is criminal. It's absolutely criminal. I'm not going to be silent about it. And we have to step up and use this platform and all our platforms to talk about and use our social media platforms to speak about what's going on, because it's absolutely criminal what's going on. It's breaking my heart, and I hate to see it. And every 2 to 3 months, there's always something going on with Haiti. So please keep them in our prayers. Andres, I'm going to hold you to that statement because maybe next week we'll have you back on. If you're available at 4:30, maybe we could talk about the comment that you just made, because I know it's going to cause a lot of problems. Here's a new narrative. KD is not the best player on the Nets. Zig, I love you, brother. We got to hang out soon. Yo, we got to hang out soon, man. I was thinking about you today. We definitely got to hang out soon. I got to come down.
Yo, Ziggy, I'm loving the glasses, by the way. Yes, sir.
Thank you, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Blind game.
Look, Andres, man, they're going to come for you. KD is not the best player on the Nets. Oh, my God. I got to go. I'll talk to you guys soon. Please make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to all Sports Hit List content. See you next Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Smoke and Mirrors will be here at 4 o'clock on Friday. Please make sure you check them out. And Sunday is the NFL kickoff show at 12 p.m. Take care.